post it. I thought it was really important, and I think it could be beneficial for people to learn about what coercion is and the tactics used in coercive relationships. And I don't think we always have the language to understand what's happening, especially with emotional abuse, because it can wreak such havoc on our minds. It's hard to think straight and what's going on. And so I think that this is really important. And I realize that I have had some experience with individuals being coercive in our relationships, so it's important for me going forward. I want to have healthy relationships in my life, so to be able to identify the coercive tactics is super important. So I'm doing this mini-series based on this book. It's called Invisible Chains by Lisa Aronson. Really great book if anybody wants to read it. I think you can get it on Amazon or probably ebook too. So what is coercion? So it's not just one thing. It's multiple tactics used by a person, and it's largely invisible or unseen. It can be used in romantic relationships, on teams, at work, in families, military, the cult, and cults. And anybody can experience coercive control. It doesn't exclude anybody. Anybody can, people with education, people in any walks of life, at any age. Teenage relationships, older relationships. Typically, I'm speaking about intimate relationships for this mini-series, but often it's men against women, and that can be a whole other series about stereotypes of masculinity and femininity and how we raise our boys and women in our society, and why we see these problems of men usually being perpetrators against women or against other men or boys and girls. So some of the tactics used for coercion is criticism, isolation, threats, physical abuse, degrading behaviors, manipulation, stalking, micromanaging, threats, punishing, sexual coercion. I'll go into more details into all these in a different video. I don't know how long I can have these videos, so I'll keep each one of them short. And then I'll make a mini series. And I also did my own rendition of a child's book and how it uses coercive tactics throughout the book, and I'll talk about it. But coercion can be on a continuum. So in one relationship, one person can stalk their partner or manage their technology, but they may still have a job. Another person could be on the other extremes, where they're not allowed to leave the house without their partner. They, some people experience extreme levels where they get punished and they don't have access to food, or their partner won't let them have access to food or a shower. They may use physical threats or violence. So it's a continuum. Every relationship looks different. But essentially the foundation of all coercive relationships is control and power. One person is typically controlling the partner, the other person in the relationship. And the person experiencing the control may bury their goals. They may not feel that they have a voice in the relationship. They may not speak their true opinions. They may find ways to resist the tactics set out by the other partner. They may feel isolated. They may experience physical or psychological symptoms. And then there's coercive entrapment, which is a little bit worse than coercive control. So there's structural inequalities, particularly that impact women, that make it harder for them to really leave coercive relationships. So financial reasons, maybe their partner made them stay home to take care of children, and now they have no income to leave, and maybe they have no access to childcare. Maybe they live in an area that doesn't have affordable housing for women, or shelters and stuff like that. So that can make them feel even more trapped and isolated. They can feel fearful of their life, that if they take their children and themselves out of the home, or themselves, that the level of violence can increase, and they really fear for their safety. And police may not believe them that this is going on. And they may lose their sense of self, and not feel like an independent person anymore, and they're just surviving from day to day, which really can impact being able to make plans to leave if they are just trying to get through each day. So that is my